I am excited to tell you today about the Ask Lindsay Q&A series where you can go to get your critical job searching questions answered. So I have real questions from real life followers about job searching, and I'm going to just go ahead and jump in here. So the first question I got is, how do I get attention from recruiters in a field that is not totally new to me, but where I could use other skills? So Marla, wonderful question. When it comes to trying to view your skill set, most people love to just inventory their skills and slap it on their resume and think I'm qualified for everything and hope that somebody will get to the point of what it is you are trying to actually decipher. Well, I want you to know the average recruiter is handling somewhere between 3,000 and 6,000 candidates. So it is your job to communicate what you can do from them based on the skill sets that you have. It's not going to be about what you're deficient in that someone's going to hire you for. You need to have an answer for that when it comes to the interview, but getting the point from the attention for the recruiters, you need to be able to craft your value proposition. You need to be able to eloquently speak to what it is that you can solve for that your experience has already allowed you to do. And that's what you truly need to have to start. So that's how you get the right response. You need to be able to have a branding statement. Your resume should do that for you. And then the part of getting recruiters' attention is that you need to have your LinkedIn profile up to date and you need to have your resume done. So you need to maximize that. So if you want to get your resume up to date, I have a free resource for you. That's my Write a Resume That Gets to the Interview in Just 5 Days. And you can just grab it over in the resources, click on the link, and actually pick that one up. All right, next question. I think it's Erjona, and hopefully I got that right. My apologies if not. How can you search the right job to best fit your qualifications? So I want to tell you that when you are looking on job searching, why job searching really is a struggle, one of the many reasons is when you go and apply for a job, usually a company, what they have done is put together a job description. A job description is there really to make sure that you do your job when you show up at work. It's not a really good job of telling you exactly what you're going to do. There's a lot of catch-all phrases like other duties as assigned, and it's not going to be very targeted to what it is that you really need to know about those companies. So finding the right job, if you want to reveal what's really in the what's available for jobs, you need to get into the unpublished job network. And you need to, again, be able to craft your value so you start to attract people to you. And that comes through understanding your value proposition. So I'm going to direct you also to the Write a Resume That Gets You an Interview coursework. You can get that 5-day challenge for free if you just hit the link. And really, that's going to be the biggest thing. But job searching, applying to jobs, does not really work. I actually saw a stat yesterday that said the likelihood of getting a job offer from an application is 0.4%. It's even less than what I estimated. So the likelihood of success is not that way. You really need to go about it a different way. So start with getting your resume in order. Okay, how do you transition from a nonprofit to another industry? This is a good question, Emily. So one of the things, when people ask me about changing industries, there's kind of two industry catch-alls. Like, industry can be the department you're in, or it can be the kind of company. So you might be in the HR team in a software company. So which industry are we talking about? So when it comes to, like, you're in a software company and you want to go to healthcare, that is easy. That's easy. The only thing you need to do is really understand how to build a resume and build your brand around what it is that you do, because it doesn't matter what the company does. Likely they still need to acquire customers, sell them, and make sure they take care of their clients internally and externally, stakeholders, customers, and employees. If you fit into one of those, it doesn't matter what industry, as long as you can equate your value and the impact of what you can do. So I want you to really focus on showing people and not telling them. If you just tell them, like, I'm a servant leader, that doesn't resonate. You need to tell people about what you've done, and that's how you get people from other industries to pick you up in that way. Now, if you're looking to kind of pivot your role, it depends on how far over. So if it's a degree over, it's almost, so sales to marketing. Those things are practically the same. If you're in recruiting and you want to be an HR generalist, those things are really not that difficult. Not saying it's easy, but it's not as difficult as if you were the receptionist and you want to be the CEO. That's a jump that you can't make. So what you really need to do here is understand where you are going, and it depends on how far of a jump. If it's just a single jump, I want you to take a look at your skills and see what's applicable to this new job. What's applicable that you've done today? Not everything you've done in the past is going to be relevant to this new job. So again, you don't need that inventory list. You really need to put together what it is that you have that applies to this new role. That's how to think about it. And then after that, it ultimately is about how you start to transition your skills and equate the value to them. So that's really what you're really looking to do. Now, you said nonprofits. So nonprofits, they typically get dinged, they get underpaid, but they have a lot of community outreach. And so moving to another industry is not that difficult. It's just your ability to connect what you've done into a corporate America role. So I'm going to assume that you're going on what the first thing I talked about, which is like, instead of being a software company, you're a nonprofit and you want to go to something else. It's not as big of a deal. Really, the part that I find is that if you believe it's a big deal, then it becomes a big deal. You need to be able to understand your value, and you have to be willing to take lessons and learn things. Lessons not as in school, but just learning about corporate America. That's a very different world. Much less regulations typically. And just the structure probably be a little more loosey-goosey. It really just depends. So that would be my recommendation. But the biggest thing, again, is understanding how to position yourself. All right, last thing, Carlos, how to beat the ATS system. Well, Carlos, I have a whole section on how to beat the bots, the ATS system, the applicant tracking system. And if you want to pick that up, guess what? It is my Write Your Resume to Get You the Interview course. It's my flagship course. We've had more than 5,000 people in 100 countries go through that. So the challenge is amazing. 5 days, how to write a resume that'll get you the interview. 5 days, you'll figure out how to format your resume the right way, the content you need to include, and then how to beat the bots. It covers all three of those. But truthfully, the biggest thing is understand the dynamics of what goes into reviewing your resume, and the 5-day resume challenge will cover that for you. So take that resource, and I hope that helps you. If you have a question for me, I am doing question and answer series. So please go ahead and submit it. In fact, you'll get a free gift from me. Just go to bit.ly/job search question, or just hit the link, and we'll be excited to answer those for you. So thanks so much for listening. I hope you have a great day.